Hey everybody. So, first actual kind of mini lesson here with what I kind of want you guys to do this week. Um, the thing that I want to talk about this week is I always like to start at a common baseline. I don't like to be presumptive or assume that students know things or have knowledge that they might not otherwise have. So, one of the things that always strikes me as funny is you've been talking about literature since you were in kindergarten. Teachers have been talking to you about literature. They've been giving you literature books to read. The English textbooks say, like literature on them. All this stuff is literature, right? But nobody ever takes the time to talk about what is or is not literature. What makes something literature? What does that even like what does that word mean? And I think that it's important to start at the baseline with the idea that literature is a concept, right? A book is a book, a poem is a poem, a song is a song. Literature is a concept. It's not a physical thing, it's an idea that encompasses other things. And so I kind of wanted us this week to talk about what is literature. I also want to talk real quick. Looking at this so far, no post in the discussion thread. A little worrisome. I got to figure out what to do about that. Let's see. Did throw up this so that way you guys can be notified of some updates. Uh, Still, oh, week two ended up with no. Oh, because I moved that stuff into week three so that way you can see it. I've only got one response to Ask Price Anything Day, and it was basically, do I have to do it again if I already did it in TOK? Which everything about Ask Price Anything Day, really quick, is voluntary. Um, this is your chance to ask me questions, and I will answer them in complete honesty. I do it every year. Kind of like no question is off limits. I'll answer anything because I believe that like, if I'm going to ask to get to know you guys over the course of the next 2 years, you have a right to get to know me. Some of you are already in TOK, but many of you aren't. Like, what do we got here? One, two, at least two or three of you are not. So, yeah, post any questions you have there. If I actually get any, I'll make a video. If not, I guess I'll just put up the response thread I guess I'll just move the response video from TOK over here so that way you guys can see things. Um, anyways, back to what we were talking about literature. And what is it? It's an idea that encompasses other things. When we talk about literature, usually we think about old books, old dead white guys, maybe some stuffy poems that are annoying and aren't very much fun to read. And that's probably about it, right? But, like, if you look at, like, the English department at MTSU has got a bunch of film courses in it, literature and film genre, film history. These are all English courses. This is what this ENGL means right here. And 4,000 courses mean for like seniors in college, right? Film theory and criticism, special topics, and these are all English courses. So, does that mean that film is literature? Why is it being taught from a college in their English department? Um, that's kind of what I want to get to the heart of. But rather than me sit back and tell you what is or is not literature, that seems kind of dumb and a lot about me and not a lot about you. So instead, I'm going to ask you to do some work defining literature. I'm going to ask you to do a thing that's called a Freyer model. And a Freyer model is really simple. Maybe some of you guys have done these before, maybe you haven't. Looks like this. Boom. And our Freyer model is going to be on literature. And I'm going to, this is also up there. It's a Word document. You just need to download it, and then you can fill it out your own and then just submit it. So a Freyer model is really simple, right? In this box over here, right, we put things that literature always has to have. Things that there's never a point in time ever that literature doesn't have. So I might start with something like words. I don't I think literature probably always has words. That's what defines literature versus something like dance, right? Or like a painting, right? Or is that it's words. things it usually has. Now this is where things get interesting because literature has lots of things, often, but these are things that it usually has, but it doesn't have to have them. They're things that we would see in literature a lot of the time, but that it it doesn't have to have. It can not have those things and still be literature. So like I may say something like uh, characters, right? Literature will often have characters, right? But it doesn't have to. Or maybe if I'm thinking about poetry, I might say rhyme, right? And that's fine. And then down here, examples, things that I know in my heart, right? Things that I shouldn't say no, I should say believe. Things that I believe in my heart are literature. So I'm gonna put. I've heard a lot of people talk about him, right? So I'm gonna put Shakespeare. I think Shakespeare is an example of literature because he has been for like 400 years, right? So that's a nice safe bet for me. So I'll put Shakespeare here in examples. And then non examples are things that I definitely, honestly, 100% believe to not be literature. And so for this, I might put what's a thing that I know for a fact is not literature? Maybe I will put, um, oh, well, how about this? A painting, right? Actually, let's go with a dance. I think that's a little bit easier. So, a dance, right? So, I think that dancing or a dance, in my mind and in my belief system, pretty it falls pretty well into the not literature category. So, what I want you to do is, I just want you to fill this out with yours, and I want you to give me as many things as you can, right? I want it to be as complete as possible because what I'm going to do is next week for our Monday lesson, because I have you guys Monday, Wednesday next week. So next week for our Monday lesson, I'm going to compile them all, and then we're going to look at them, and then we're going to try and move some things around to see if we can't, as a group, come up with a working definition of what literature is that we can then build on and then use as we go forward. All right. So this is all that I want you to do. You're going to submit it for me by Friday night. Like I said, the Frayer model will be up in Schoology, and so yeah. Beyond that, I don't I don't have a lot to say here because you guys just haven't done anything. Like there's nothing in the discussion thread, nothing at Ask Price Anything Day. I'm giving you your first assignment right now. Uploading this video will be where I can kind of see how engaged you guys are and if you guys are actually even like trying to participate here. Um, I'm going to send out another update to see if maybe I can't ping you guys all and get you guys to like re-engage and pay attention to the course, because I think that what happened was I didn't know that this was an actual section of this class. I thought that it was just a placeholder because I've got. Hold on, let me show you what my Infinite Campus here looks like real quick because you guys might laugh at this. Um, I've got a bunch of placeholder courses that they've used to make IB schedules work. So like if I go in here and if I click on my rosters, um, these are all the courses that I'm supposed to be teaching right now. And you'll notice I've got 4 classes in fourth block. I've got 4 classes in third block. So I thought that this, because you guys are down here in fourth block, along where I'm supposed to be doing an ACT prep and an independent study, I thought maybe this was just a placeholder class. And so I didn't do anything the first week of school. Well, then it turned out that I was told, no, 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 it's not a placeholder class. You've got to actually teach it. And the reason I thought it was a placeholder class is that there's 5 of you, right? And then I was told, nope, it's an actual course. You need to teach it, get to it. So here we go, trying to get things started here. For those of you that don't have me for TOK, also know that school district says that on the 25th, which is next Tuesday, they're going to give us some information on reopening and whether we are or not, or what that will look like. This week is kind of our slow going into class week, where I'm just kind of giving you a really small, easy thing to do. Next week is where I'm going to actually start giving you things to do, things to look at, and we're going to start the actual course content in all earnestness. So that'll start this coming week. All right. So yeah, that's all I've got. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on here because again, I don't know how much you guys are actually watching these things. Do your fair model. Please reply to the discussion post. It's a small group, so I've we got to figure out how to get these discussions going a little bit better because if everyone waits till Friday or Saturday, it's going to be impossible to get any kind of replies in. Um, and then next week we'll try and refine it a bit more, see if we can't get it working a little bit better. All right, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Um, please take care of yourself. Find some joy in life. Don't stress things too much. Everything will be okay. Bye.